Morning, everybody. I'm just gonna go get some gas, get ready for a long trip. I'm gonna fill up and let you guys know where I'm going when I'm on the road. Favorite wintertime pump. Alright, at the start of my journey I had 15.1 on the odometer, and it is 11:15. Alright, we finally made it to the country. Welcome back to the channel, everyone. Today I'm going to do the longest trip I've ever done and make it to a ghost town north of Temple, and we've never been that far before. I started kind of late. I started at 11:15 and it is about 11:45 right now. I'm not even to Taylor yet. I had to get, I had to go all the way through town and get through all these lights before I could get out to the country. The goal really is to make it back before dark. So you guys have seen this road before, but I thought I would show you some of the damage that we've had in a recent ice storm. So it's going to get up to 70 degrees. It's still a little cool actually for being on the scooter, but it's supposed to get up to 70 degrees today later on. It's not that now. I do have layers with me just in case it gets too cold for me in the case underneath the seat, and it might be the case that I'll have to put it on here, especially if I don't make it back before dark. But Thursday it was 28 degrees. Wednesday it was cold as well, and we've had a light drizzle and no wind to speak of, so all the water collected on the limbs of the trees and wasn't blown off, so it just froze there. And we've had some branches with about a ½ inch of ice on them. And so there's been a lot of major damage, people's trees, and I'll show you some of it. I'm not going to do a lot of footage because you've seen a lot of this before. The goal is to get to State Highway 95 as quick as possible so I can really start my journey there. Whoa. Had to duck. You can see how bad the trees are here. This was a very pretty area. I'm sure it'll still be pretty when it greens up. It was a nice little tunnel of trees, which is always a cool thing in Texas to have in the summertime. We finally made it to 95. Still a little south of Taylor, about 7 miles south of Taylor, and of course you've seen this road a lot of times. One thing I want to do is have a little commercial break, and that is to tell you guys who come back here to see these videos, if you are not subscribed yet, please subscribe, because these trips, they're you could say they're expensive in time and in money and all the equipment. If and when I do get above 1,000 subscribers, then I can justify doing longer trips out to the coast, across state lines, and who knows, maybe even the Florida Keys. Long trips like that would of course involve camping. It's time to start the town countdown. We are in Taylor. Texas Beer Company's closed or remodeling. I hope they're just remodeling. Oh my God. That's what brought this town back to life. I'll have to check that out. I love that place. Three-wheelers. I like that. Alright, so we're about 30 miles and 1 hour into our trip, and we just left the town proper of Taylor. And our next stop will be Granger. And this is actually a pretty good road for a scooter because it has this huge shoulder on the right hand side. And my top speed's been still about 38 miles an hour. And I'm pretty sure that's because of a worn belt. My apologies to the inhabitants of Circleville because that's actually the first town we're coming into. And I believe it is a town. Okay, we're about to enter Granger in our town countdown, and it is let's see here, 12:30. And we are, have to do the math here, we are 38 miles into our trip. I think the next town is Bartlett, if I remember correctly. Hopefully the towns start coming a little closer and closer together. Okay, welcome to Bartlett. We have, what is that, 43 miles on the odometer for this trip, and it is 12:40. It's working out about right. So based on the gas mileage that I've been getting, and I don't really know because I haven't really done any long trips in a while, so the gas mileage might be a little better on a long trip. And because we don't have a gas gauge, we just have a warning that we're low. And I'm just going to go ahead and fill up in Temple and at 85 miles on the tank. Okay, Temple's 22, so that's good. We can get right into Temple because we're going to have to go into the city limits, into the town proper in Temple, and cut across and get onto State Highway 36 to go to the ghost town. I believe our next town should be Holland, though. So where we're going is actually a kind of a motorcycle destination. Those guys may be going there. Of course, they're going to beat us. So we just made it to Holland. Let's see here. We've got 3064. That would be 50 miles on the tank for this trip, and it is 12:50. We've been on the road a little while. I do need to take a break, and you know what? Brakes need to be built into the trips because I've been riding for over an hour and a half straight. My back is getting tired. We'll just find us a place to pull over up here. This is as far north as we have been, right here at the flashing light. It's where we usually turn. to go to Salado, and that's a happening little town. Not that Temple's not a happening little town also. So okay, we're as far north as we've been. That's not the longest trip yet. And I'm gonna pull over at this dollar store here and take a little break. Okay, we're back on the road again. It is about 5 after 1, and I believe our next town shall be Temple, but I'm not quite sure how many miles away that is. Maybe 15-20 miles. We're down to a 1-lane road now, so I'll have to ride the shoulder quite a bit. Speed limit is 70 miles an hour now, so people will be coming up behind me quick. I don't know where they're coming from, but they're coming quick. More utility trucks trying to fix the power. A lot of people still don't have power. There are ice storm. We're passing through Little River Academy. Speed limit is 45. Alright, there we go, a Temple sign. Temple is, still 8 miles away. Okay. Passing the exit for Belton, and the sign for Temple should be coming up pretty soon. We are entering the city limits of Temple, and intersection of 36. We don't want to get on 36 yet, and this is the end of 95. Okay, we're coming up on 53. I think that's the one I want. But I want 53 West. Okay, we're on 53, and the chances of me getting home before dark are getting slim. I will find a gas station and I will fill up in town. We won't have to worry about it for a while. I think Temple is a college town. It's very pretty. Hope I run into a gas station pretty soon. There we go. I'm gonna do this one. Well, good news, and that is I'm doing my a longer ride like this, I am actually getting 100 miles to the gallon again. We don't really have that many miles to go before we get to our little ghost town. And I have a little bit of history of it and why it became a ghost town. We got about 70 miles on the odometer so far. So even if I turned around now, which I'm not about to do, but if I did, it'd still be the longest trip that we've taken on our Ruckus. Now we're getting onto State Highway 36. Like 75 on this road, and cars aren't that bad, but sometimes these trucks will take the wind out of your sails. Kind of a turn lane. General merchandise. Alright guys, welcome to the Grove. Hey everybody, welcome to the Grove. We made it. Just a few buildings here. The Grove was actually a hopping town back in the early 1900s. It was a pretty major town. What could have been, basically it could have been Temple. And anyway, let's look around and see if we can see inside some of these windows. This blacksmith shop won't focus. Here we go. And here's the saloon. Now, they could do business with me if it were open. The post office and a general store here. Well, I hope that I am not a suspicious person. No trespassing. I'm pretty sure they mean that way. Okay, here's a little history of the town. We're in front of the general merchandise store. And between Grove and Temple in the early 1900s, the Grove was the bigger and more thriving community. But then State Highway 36 came through and bypassed the Grove, which, I mean, they could have grown to, but then they dammed up the river and made Lake Belton. That took up a big swath of property and the tax base there from the farmers and their children. And then the government came in and put in Fort Hood, which is one of the largest army bases in America. And that took up the rest of the land and the tax base. So there was really nothing to support the Grove. And it died and Temple took off instead. I guess that's just the way it goes sometimes. But it's real neat that they kept this around. So, I think it's about time to get back, and I will see you on the road. So I would say this is pretty much some of the craziest shit I've ever done. Yeah. Oh, good. All right, I hit that one too. All right, don't want to miss a stick.